Okay, so this is a fresh VirtualBox installation of Ubuntu, and we're going to try to install EasyCrypt on it. And with EasyCrypt, one of the issues is that there are a lot of dependencies. So let's see how this attempt at installing EasyCrypt goes. So so far I've had, I believe, the best instructions online about how to install EasyCrypt are from Ali Stoughton, and they have a really good installation guide. And let's go to that, and let's first switch to English. Doesn't matter, it's on the virtual machine. So these are the instructions, and as you can see, we have a bunch of things to go through here. And first off, let's try to understand what EasyCrypt is built on. So as it says here, EasyCrypt is built and as in it's implemented in OCaml, and Y3 is an interface to SMD solvers. And all of this runs on top of Emacs and Proof General. So we'll have to install all of these things one by one. So we first have to install Emacs, then we have to install EasyCrypt, then we have to install the external solvers, then configure EasyCrypt to use those solvers, and then at the end we install Proof General. So let's get to it. So since it's quite a long process, I'm gonna keep pausing the recording from time to time, and once one part gets done, I will come back and start recording so that you don't have to wait and go through the whole process. Okay, so let me zoom that a little bit so you can see better. Okay, so first we need Emacs, right? So sudo apt get update. It's just to update the lists, and once that is done, I'm gonna ask it to install Emacs. Okay, I do understand that it is super user do, but I just like to call it sudo. So sudo apt get install Emacs, and yes. Okay, here I'm gonna pause the recording and then come back once it's done. Okay, so we have Emacs installed. So now what we need is the OCaml package manager, which is called Opam, and the way to install it is simply running sudo apt get install Opam. Again, this is a pretty big archive, so I'm going to pause and come back again. Okay, so now we have Opam, and now the instructions ask us to, let's see. Okay, we need to initialize Opam init. So it creates a .opam subdirectory in your home directory. Let's do that. And as the instructions say, Opam init will ask you 2 questions about whether your shell startup script and Opam script should be modified to keep your shell environment variables up to date automatically. And as we can see, it asks us that, and we will ask it to do that for us. So we'll say yes, and yes again. And it just created the initial switch to be 4.02.3, but as we can see, we want the 4.12.1, but we first run eval $opam env, environment, and that is done. So now we create the switch, Opam switch, create 4.12.1. So this command might take time. So again, I'm going to pause and come back to it again. Okay, so the correct version of OCaml is also installed. This this command took a fair amount of time, so I would request you to be patient when you're doing this. And again, we have to do opam env, eval opam env as is mentioned in the instructions. Okay, now we can install EasyCrypt, and for that we need to grab this URL and we have to pin it, opam pin, and then we have to create it as a new package, which it did by default, so we didn't really have to do much there. Okay, so now we have EasyCrypt, but I mean we have the repo registered on Opam, and now we need to ask it to install it. Install deps EasyCrypt. Hopefully this won't take too much time. Yes. Okay, I think it will take a while, so again, pause, and then I'll come back again. Okay, so running this, as in asking Opam to install EasyCrypt through some errors. So let's see what those errors are. So it says that it couldn't install these three packages or libraries, and the reason it failed is because it didn't have these. So let's grab these and install them. And these are these you can install this way. And since we already installed some of them, I think we can grab this command so that Opam doesn't throw too many errors when it's installing EasyCrypt. So let's do that. Okay, so now it's working on the ones that it didn't manage to fix last time. So let's see how this goes. I think this should be quick, so I'm not going to pause again. But I think after this, what we need to do is we need to install autoconf and then alt ergo and z3, as we can see here. So, and one of the things about what I do know about z3 is that it's just a package that we need to add in our path. I would say that's the easiest way, because we need a very specific version of z3. I believe, yeah, here we have it here, so we can at least download that that binary and be ready for that. And then, okay, so first autoconf, then alt ergo, and then z3. All right, let's see how far. Okay, it seems like this will take a while as well. So again, pause, and then I'll be back. Okay, so EasyCrypt has been installed successfully, and there weren't any errors this time. And as it says, it wants us to run that command to update the shell environment, and let us do that. Otherwise, when you try to run EasyCrypt from the shell, it'll complain about where EasyCrypt is, because we've installed it using Opam. Okay, so now let's see. We need to get autoconf. So let's sudo git get install auto. Okay, that seems like a small package. And okay, we have Y3. We got Y3 when we installed EasyCrypt, but we can still check to make sure that it is there. So okay, so autoconf has been installed. So we need to do Y3 version. Yeah, so it says it's 1.5.0. So we have it, and now we need to install alt ergo. Okay, so when we do this, it's saying it's gonna downgrade some of them and recompile some of them, especially Y3. So let's say sure. This is the part where it can get tricky, and I have faced this problem before. That EasyCrypt requires uh, a certain version, and when we install something using Opam, it changes some of the dependencies. So uh, hopefully this will work out fine, and I'll let it run and then come back once when it's done. Okay, so alt ergo has been installed, and now let's go get Z3. And the way we get Z3 is EasyCrypt requires 4.8.10, and the way we do it is we just grab the zip file, and let's see once. Yes, I want to save it. Okay, that was pretty quick. Okay, so we just extract it wherever we want, and I'm going to extract it here, and I want to just rename it to something easy like C3, and I'm going to grab the so I just need the path, and I need to append it to my I need the path to the directory, and I need to append it to the path of Ubuntu, and for that we need to open bash rc, and I do not remember the syntax exactly, but we just scroll down to the end, and let's look it up. Directory to path in Ubuntu. Okay, so it says add export path, and this to the last line. So I'm going to paste my directory, copy this, and okay, and I'm saving it and then exiting. Okay, and then I need to source rc. So now if I ask which z3, it'll give me the path that I added. Okay, so now we have z3 as well. So now what do we need to do? We need to install EasyCrypt. So earlier we only installed the dependencies, so that's what this says. That's the flag that we set here. And once we have this, oh no, sorry, we first need to, yeah, we got alt ergo. Yeah, so yeah, we have set up the path to Z3. So now we can install EasyCrypt. Okay, I do not need that. I just need my terminal. But here again, I need let's just restart the terminal so that Z3, if I can spell which that is. Okay, so it knows where Z3 is, and let's now install EasyCrypt. I'll wait for it to complete. Alright, so that has EasyCrypt has installed without any errors, and let's run that to update the shell. Okay, let's see now. Okay, it says needs external provers to be installed. Yes, we have installed them, but now we need to configure them. But let's see first. Okay, it says EasyCrypt is installed as well, and pretty much exactly the way it's here. Now we need to configure the external solver. So EasyCrypt y3 config. Okay, so it has alt ergo and Z3, and it has saved that to the y3 configuration file, and that's okay. And finally, now we're on to the last steps. We need to install proof general and into Emacs, and for that we first need to add Melpa to Emacs package manager. And the way we do that is we first open Emacs, and I'm sorry, no, we just need to create a .emacs file in our home directory, and we can do that using touch. Oh, that we already have an, no, that's an emacs.d file. What we need is yeah, we just need a touch emacs, we just need to do touch emacs, and then we can use Emacs to customize Emacs, and let's just paste that and save. Okay. And then we have to restart Emacs because it needs to read those. And for those who have not used Emacs before, I'd highly recommend taking the tutorial that's here to teach you the basic keystrokes. And it can be quite difficult because I believe one of the most famous questions on Stack Overflow is how to quit Emacs and Vim. So these key bindings are not easy to, they're not very intuitive, and it takes a bit of learning to understand how to navigate Emacs. So so we want to install proof general, and the way we do it is we need to do meta x and package refresh contents. So meta is the alt key. So when we do alt x, in the bottom you can see there's a mx written, and we need to do package refresh contents. There we go. Continue. Okay, I think yes. Okay, so it threw a couple of complaints about how should it add Melpa to the some certificate stuff, but that's okay. And now we need to do package install proof general. So again, meta x package install, and it auto completes. So you just hit tab, package install proof general. And okay, I'll let it install and see what else we need to do. Mhm. Yes, so this is one of the things about EasyCrypt is that the way it yeah, the built-in indentation is just quite strange and sometimes hard to understand. So I am going to I'm going to add this to my customization file. And let's see if yeah, so it's installed. I'm gonna leave and go back to my the Emacs file, and okay, I'm gonna dismiss the startup screen. And okay, so hopefully that is all that we need to do, because and the other stuff is something that we don't really need to care about, because we will be running it in the GUI version of Emacs, and we are on Ubuntu, so we don't need to worry about these two things. So now let's get started and use this script and check if it's installed or not. So I'm gonna navigate to, let's say I'm gonna make a new directory. So we have proof general already, and it has when I asked it to open a .ec file, proof general already knows that it needs to come in. So I'm just going to paste that, save it, and then switch to the terminal. Okay. And then I'm going to do EasyCrypt install, EasyCrypt test. So there we go. It says it doesn't know what alt ergo is, so I believe it requires this specific version of alt ergo. So let's do that. But before we do that, let's go back to Emacs and test.ec. See why it complains, and let's see if I can zoom in here. Okay, I do not know how to do that right now, but okay, so here is where it goes off. But let's say if it can find Z3 at least. Okay, it knows what Z3 is, and we'll try to fix the alt ergo, and we probably know why it didn't work, and we just need to, so opam pin alt ergo 2.4.1. And I guess we'll have to do the configuration of Y3 again. Oh, okay, yes, we want to do all of those. I'll pause and come back. Okay, so now we've installed alt ergo 2.4.1. That took a fair amount of time, because what Opam does is it figures out the dependencies and then uh, recompiles things. So for instance, it knows that EasyCrypt takes EasyCrypt is dependent on AltErgo, and so it makes those it manages those dependencies automatically, and hopefully now it should have worked. But I believe we'll have to do the EasyCrypt y3 config again. Okay. Yes, so now it has 2.4.1 and 4.8.10 of Z3. Hopefully this, now let us just grab the, let's go back to our test file, Emacs test, and also I figured out how to zoom in. If I think it is, hold on a moment, it is Control X and Control plus. Yeah, there we go. And I want AltErgo as well. Go. Let's see. It needs to be in quotes. Okay. Yeah, there we go. So now AltErgo works as well. And this is how you install EasyCrypt. It can be long and winding, but finally we have it working. Yes, we want to quit, and yeah, that's how you install EasyCrypt. Again, all the instructions are on Ali Stoughton's website, alistoughton.us. I highly recommend this instruction guide, this installation guide. So if you want to install it on your already existing Ubuntu, then this is what you need.